Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? I just want to make a quick video on why I stand with and support Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson is a school psychologist from the Philadelphia area. He also goes around many parts of Philadelphia, the Philadelphia metro area, and he helps Black and Latino kids mostly in areas such as Camden, Wilmington, North Philly, and he does psychological treatment on them and makes sure that they are okay. He also treats other kids as well in the city as well, but mostly he treats black and Hispanic kids. He was on a interview with Angela Yee, DJ Envy, and Charlemagne the God in the Breakfast Club. If y'all didn't watch that, y'all better uh, y'all better watch that real quick on the Breakfast Club. Just type up Breakfast Club, Dr. Umar Johnson, the recent interview, and you're gonna look it up. Anyways, I I may not agree with everything he says, but I do support him. I do support him in his right to disagree, to his right to do what he does, and I also have the right to disagree with some things he says. But that's not the point. I agree with many of the things he says, so I support him. Just like many people, you don't have to agree with many people on everything, but you still support them. I really enjoyed the interview, the most recent interview from a few days ago, especially when he was discussing about the recolonization of Africa and the Caribbean and the Pacific Islands as well. He was discussing how since China has is very overpopulated and most people in China do live in the eastern coast of China, pretty much in the cities of the coast, that is getting too overpopulated, and now what they're doing is they're putting their excess population, they're sending them to places like Jamaica, Haiti, Barbados, Dominican Republic, Cuba, uh, Brazil, all those places, and then even in the African countries as well, such as Nigeria, Angola, Liberia, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti, Egypt, Libya, Sudan, Nigeria, Mauritania, Mali, and even some countries in the Pacific, such as Fiji, Tonga, Vanuatu, and even Australia. Anyways, and he's saying how they're recolonizing them. They're pretty much lying and saying that they are bringing jobs back, but they're really not bringing jobs back. They're bringing jobs for themselves. They don't hire any of you. They treat you with a lot of disrespect. Not all of them, but many of them do not treat you well. And yeah, that's true. And I think, and he also did discuss that blacks should try to make an economic empire for themselves, just like every other group. Then I fully agree that whites have done that. Asian and some Asians have done that. Many Asians have done that. So we have to do the same thing. I do agree with him on that. He also did discuss that the that each president is a puppet, and I 100% agree with him on that. Every president is a puppet, and that we're not supposed to expect anything from Trump because we were mostly blacks. Well, virtually everybody, mostly blacks, were very silent during the Obama years. So he said we're not going to expect anything from Trump because we have normalized being silent, and I do agree with him on that. That we have been silent, and that was a big mistake, a big fat mistake. We should not have done that. I do agree. Another thing was that he discussed during the interview was that was the African migration when the world started, the out of Africa migration, how there are some people in Southeast Asia who have retained their African features when they migrated from Africa thousands of years ago from the out of Africa migration, and that there's still some dark skinned and almost black looking people in Cambodia and Vietnam, and that is a fact. And I do uh, respect Dr. Umar Johnson for bringing that up as well. He also discussed about the racism here in China, and I think that is a good thing to do. And another thing which I do respect he did, and I'm so glad he finally called this out, but he did call out Fidel Castro from Cuba, and I think that is good thing. One of the greatest things he's done is that he finally called it out. He was the first person to call it out. He was saying how he was an Italian Cuban and that he was a very brutal racist, and it is true. And people, I've been trying to tell people that for a while, but nobody listened. But at least now we finally know the truth, and that he wanted to. He believed socialism would have ended racism, and we know that that's not true. Socialism would never end racism. To be honest, screw that. No, it won't. And I'm glad that Dr. Umar Johnson called that out. And then he's he did a lot of heinous things to blacks before. He just used them. He was using political power and trying to gain the allyship of blacks due to him being enemies of America. So Fidel Castro was an opportunist. So again, we gotta be careful of those as well. I also liked how he discussed about how we need to we need to build banks, schools, supermarkets, and hospitals. I do agree we have to do that. And it has to serve the community so you don't have to go and commute somewhere else and like far, far away in order to get some treatment. So I do agree with him on that. And yeah, overall, I agree with him. Most of the things I agree with, most of the things he says. Y'all better watch the interview as well. It was a beautiful interview. One of the greatest interviews on the planet, I think. And yeah, I fully support this man. You guys need to check out his page. Y'all need to support what he's doing. He's building his school, the new school. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. God bless this man. I will support this man, and then I hope he does well in his endeavors, in his future endeavors. To be honest, and hope to see the best. All right, guys, everybody, I gotta go. All right, have a good day, everyone. God bless.